Hello there, I'm Felicity Barr with the headlines on Al Jazeera. BP says it faces more delays in its attempts to stem the massive Gulf of Mexico oil spill. The company was supposed to start pressure tests on a new camp designed to contain the oil. Drilling work on a series of relief wells has also been suspended. A Libyan-sponsored aid ship diverted away from the Gaza Strip by the Israeli Navy has now arrived in Egypt. The Amalthea is carrying more than 2,000 tons of aid. The vessel had initially intended to sail directly to Gaza, but has now entered the Egyptian port of El Arish. Hamas has strongly criticised Israel's actions.
Israeli gunships followed the Libyan ship and prevented her from coming to Gaza. This is a form of piracy and terrorism.
Saddam Hussein's former Foreign Minister Tariq Aziz has been moved from American to Iraqi custody. He was among 55 of Saddam's former inner circle to be handed over by the US ahead of a wider transfer of prison control. It comes as US forces step up their withdrawal from the country. Al Jazeera's Roy O'Ragay is in Baghdad.
This all is in line with the ongoing drawdown of U.S. forces here in Iraq to live up to the deadline set by President Obama to have U.S. forces down to 50,000 U.S. soldiers only by the end of August. Now, the message just coming out of Baghdad by the U.S. military is that they're very keen on emphasizing that they are not leaving too soon, that their mission has been accomplished, and that they are not cutting and running.
The first funerals are being held for victims of Sunday's twin suicide blasts in Uganda. Al-Shabaab fighters from Somalia claim they carried out the attacks, which targeted people watching the World Cup final. 76 people are believed to have been killed. French President Nicolas Sarkozy has been criticised over the presence of soldiers and leaders from 13 African countries at its Bastille Day celebrations. The idea was to mark 50 years of independence for some of France's former colonies. But critics say some of those presents should instead be facing war crimes charges. Al Jazeera's Lawrence Lee reports.
All of this is supposed to demonstrate the proof of President Sarkozy's belief of a new relationship between France and Africa, one built on equals rather than a sort of post-colonial paternalism. But nonetheless, there are plenty of people who say that this doesn't mean that anything's changed at all.
And Bosnia's former president has been in court in the UK, where he's fighting an attempt to extradite him to Serbia. Ehud Ganic is accused of ordering an attack on Yugoslav soldiers shortly after the start of the Bosnian War. A decision on his fate is expected next week. Ganic argues he wouldn't get a fair trial in Serbia. Don't forget, of course, you can watch Al Jazeera online at any time. Simply head to our website, aljazeera.net/English, and click on the Watch Now icon. Those were the latest headlines here on Al Jazeera. I'm Felicity Barr. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.